what's up everybody? Welcome to Studio Sessions. I'm your host Scott LaRock, and today we feature the lady who had everybody broken up when they speak up all crop over long. I'm talking about none other than Miss Rhea Layne. I don't even know if multi-talented begins to describe her, because she's a singer, songwriter, she's a dancer, and also an attorney at law. I mean, she does it all. Barbadian born and bred, but there are no limits to where she plans to take her music. But for those of you who don't know, let's hear it from the lady herself.
Rhea Layne that's like the hardest question, because I think nobody really knows who they are. Am I getting deep too early? I think I might be getting deep too early. But what I know for sure is that she is an attorney at law. She's a singer, she's a songwriter, she's an entertainer, and she is just here to show the world, how to entertain. So I don't really think it's too far-fetched, a combination. A lot of people go to school and mommy and daddy's like, you have to go to school and get your degree. Not saying that the majority of people who do law don't want to be lawyers, but a lot of us at school are definitely creatives. So yeah, I came out of my mother's womb singing. As far as I'm concerned, the first thing I knew how to do is sing. Like my aunt Kim Derrick, she is a singer. She was in a band called Virtuosity here in Barbados, and everybody used to talk about Kim the Powerhouse, and so I grew up hearing her. My mom can also sing, even though she's not a singer. She was always singing in the house. She used to sing in choirs at church and whatnot. And then of course my sister, she too, Chantal, she too is a singer and a songwriter. So, and her being a few years older than me, I had the benefit of watching her, do certain things, performing and stuff like that. So in terms of the inspiration, there's no shortage of it around me, and I think it just gave me the confidence to say, well, this is what I definitely want to do for the rest of my life. But I think from a very young age, I always knew that, music or being on stage, performing is something I always wanted to do. So yeah. I love soca. Oh my god. I love soca. I love carnival. There's no genre of music that makes me happier than soca. Like none. When I was younger, I used to be like really into dancehall. Like when dancehall was really dancehall, I was like heavy into dancehall too. But now it's like there's nothing like soca. Like soca's bring people alive, bring people together. You don't see a more unifying genre than soca music, and why would I not choose something that is so happy? I just love it. It's just it's feel good music. Layne said it best. Feeling sick, play the soca. Feeling sad, play the soca. Like soca's just lit. It's just lit. Well, I think my background in dance definitely translates on stage when I perform. Depending on what kind of stage I'm on, I might incorporate dance into my act. And I did that for Moonlit Festival, which I did in May, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, I think it helps. But obviously, in terms of dancing with Dance in Africa, I don't do that anymore because schedules, and it's just too much. So I can't do everything. But yeah, I always dancing in the fest. You see me and my best friend doing choreography, and I can't get rid of that part of me. But yeah, for me, my goal when I get on stage is always to make sure that people are talking about me and my performance afterwards. Realistically, I'm a new artist, even though I've been doing this since like 2012, 2013. Until you bust, you're still a new artist. As far as like, it could take you 20 years, you new. So for me, my goal is to show people why it should not be new anymore. Basically, just to show people that she's worthy of being booked, she's worthy of being listened to, her music is worthy of being bought, and just to show people that I am a worthwhile performer. And performing has always been the most exhilarating part of all of this for me. I mean, the business side of it is so dreadful sometimes, and so like it can make you so jaded, but those 3 minutes sometimes is all you got. It's 3 minutes, and that's your time to show people that everything else is worth it. So anytime I go on a stage, is energy, and the goal is to make people say, yo, she hard boy. So being on the Moonlit stage, first time performing speaker, that was the goal, and I was just so happy that I was able to achieve that, for sure. I can't get over it because I didn't expect speaker to be what it has been, and I mean, I'm so glad that it has been what it has been. But speaker was so experimental for both me and Daisy, and then for Anna Mariah to collaborate with two Bajans as a Jamaican artist, like, that was totally out of her league too. Like, not her league, but like out of the norm for her, because she's like a singer, you know. So the whole chanting thing was new for her too. So it's like for everybody involved, it was like a risk, and then for it to blow up in this way, like, we're just so grateful and so ever blessed. I don't even. Hearing it on the road, it was like, this is really happening. Like, I can't. And then obviously I could only be in one band, right? So I hearing it in the band I in, and I freaking out. But then when I get home now and the videos start rolling in, like people in Zulu, people in Aura, people in Kosa, like the song playing in enough bands, and I was like, yo, that's so cool. Like, my heart is still in my hands. I'm so grateful for the reception, and I just hope I can live up to it. Well, me and I knew Daisy since like 2005 because we went to school together. She's older than I am. She's like 4 years older than I am, but I always knew who she was. She always knew who I was, and I guess as we got older, we were communicating more artist to artist, you know, and when I was in school, she was just like, when you come back, we have to work together. And I was like, cool, no problem. We was always working like I worked on her Day One project before. Me and my sister, we did a feature on one of these songs. But when I was going to school in Trinidad, it was kind of like it caused me to have to wait a little bit because, you know, resources and everything, you gotta prioritize. So once I get back, it was like, no more excuses, let me do this. And she had just come back from the Marshall Academy. I learned so much, and she was just excited to like put what she learned into the practice, and I was excited to collaborate with her. So we come true. I went to her studio and she was like, alright, so what are we doing? I was like, just vibe. You know the type of essence I have. I know the type of essence you have. Let me bring the best of both worlds together, and then we just vibe. So speaker is literally, there's not too much thought that went into speaker. It was literally a vibe, and the only thing that we knew we wanted to do is be Bajan. So that's why the lyrics that you hear are unapologetically Bajan, because we all know Jamaican dialect, we know what that sound like, we know Trinidad's sound. Nobody don't know how Bajans sound except West Indians. So I wanted to do something that was so Bajan that you have to know. When you hear this, that's a Bajan. So yeah, look at the playlist.
Just wine for the speaker, broke out and wine for the speaker, yeah. Just wine for the speaker, broke out and wine for the speaker, yeah. Just wine for the speaker, broke out and wine for the speaker, yeah. Just wine for the speaker, broke out and wine for the speaker, yeah. Come down, no selector, make the girl them walk up the bumper. Do the dog on the playlist, lick up the paling. Girl bored through the crowd when they hear this. They're not in the mood to be bougie. As some gone from the head top, bassa in the place when the tune drop. Just wine for the speaker, broke out and wine for the speaker, yeah. Just wine for the speaker, broke out and wine for the speaker, yeah. Just wine for the speaker, broke out and wine for the speaker, yeah. Just wine for the speaker, broke out and wine for the speaker. You gon' behave, yeah. You's got to behave, yeah.
Welcome back to Studio Sessions. Chilling today with Miss Rhea Layne. You just heard a slice of her music and all about how she started her career. Now she tells us about her songwriting and her plans for the future.
Well, knowing Faith from Honey Jam made it a lot easier, and I think that's what gave her, you know, the confidence in me to even ask in the first place, is because we had that relationship from Honey Jam before. Because, you know, sometimes it could get a little awkward working with people that you don't know them, they don't know you, you don't really know if your personalities are gonna mesh or not. But I think writing for Faith specifically, it helped that we knew each other and that we're actually friends. So that's great. And she's a really great writer too. And so, like, we bounce ideas off of each other a lot. And it's a very relaxed vibe. We don't really write away from each other. If she wants something, she'll say, well, let's link at the studio. So we're usually in the same space and just bouncing ideas, and then it's come together real easily. And that was a blessing, because it don't always work out like that for everybody. So yeah, I think for me, I feel like my favorite part, like I said before, is definitely the performing of the music. I think most people like a final product more than the process, and because sometimes I guess you could overthink when you're writing sometimes, and you're like, do I like this part? I don't know if I like this part. Let me send this in a VN to my sister. Chantal, how you feel about this? And my best friend, whose name is also Chantal, you think with this cool? Like, I don't know if you're feeling it. Like, that whole process could be a little stressful because you want the best product ever. And then there are other times when it's like, it's hard, boy. Like, there ain't a question in it. And when you feel it, that is when you should like the song the most. And that's when you should go with it. If you're feeling doubtful, it's probably not the best song. But I guess all of that to say, I like performing more. I like the end more than the process. But yeah, I think that being a young artist, a lot of us think that there's no way we could do it without a manager. But I think we need to be careful with the extent of management that we get involved with too early, because 20% or 30% or whatever percent you agree to of zero is zero. So there really is no point to me in getting too tight a relationship with a manager who is not interested in helping you to actually develop. I think realistically, some of us need managers that are willing to invest in our development, and that's hard to find because some people just ain't got the money, or some people just don't really see your value and they'll just take advantage of you. So I think management is tricky, but it's like anything else. I always say to people, music is like any other business, and you have to take risks. Any other entrepreneurship business, you have to take risks, and you have to get beat down, and you have to take some bruises and take some licks until you get the hang of things, because it's one of them things that you gotta learn. In law, we just say you learn on your legs. When you go in court, there ain't nothing that school will teach me like how being in court does teach you. Like, so it's the same concept. Basically, you kind of just gotta go through it until you realize, okay, this person is this kind of way, so let me move this way with this body, or it's just a feel out thing. But I would say not necessarily get a manager, but definitely get someone who is willing to help you to get your foot in the door to a certain point, and then you could talk to them about taking the relationship further in terms of compensation, because basically that's what it is. It's not just your friend that like you, like their management is more than just trying to get you bookings. There's a difference between management and a booking agent. So I guess too, an artist needs to know what they want and at what stage they're at in their career. You might just feel like, okay, I can't afford a manager, so let me just get a booking agent so I could get myself some appearances. Because I think for the most part that's what we want at this stage, is to just be visible. But a lot of it we can handle for ourselves when you don't have too much to do. So you just gotta know for yourself, I guess. Best friend. Best friend is my baby. It was inspired by me and my best friend and our party experiences. Literally, I can't imagine partying without her. And like, I mean, sometimes we end up not having much of a choice, but for her, like, if I'm here and she's here too and she won't go out, I can't go, most of the time she won't go because she can't, like, we just can't imagine not being in the fat together. And we just feel very similarly about crop over and partying. So when we go out, it's like we mesh well because it's the same intention, it's the same vibe. So yeah, like I said, we was being in the crowd doing choreographies. The DJs just be like, look at these two doing these synchronized dancing and da da da. And I'm like, we've got choreography for everything. So that's what best friend is about. And of course, it's not just for the girls, it's for the boys too. Cause you know, I see it. And like Soca Fats boys is really gassing up each other too. Like, go walk up for that girl there, you know what I mean? And like, same way them is be gassing up them friends. And then they got certain songs like the drinking songs and the friend and them songs, and everybody's just be so happy and in a good vibe and jumping up with one another. That's made my heart melt. I love to see it. So that's what best friend is about, and I'm really pleased with the response to that one as well. I think people got that from the song, and that's all I wanted.
When you see me, you see she shelling down every damn party. I there with my right hand, I there with my bestie. When I on the road in the heat, you can't see me there without she. I there with my right hand, I there with my bestie. When she starts to go down, go down, go down, go down, go down, go down, I there with she. Go down, go down, go down, go down, go down, go down. When I start to come up, come up, come up, come up, come up, come up, she just gas me up. Is me always up in front by the truck.
It's not even about trying to reach Trinidad or wherever. I mean, everybody wants to transcend the home drum, but at the same time, for me, first it's not really about that. It is about establishing that this music is not seasonal. Like soca music does not have to be seasonal, but I do think that soca music does not always have to be about crop over or about carnival either. So I think that in order for it to have longevity, we need to diversify our content, and so it could still be soca, but it won't necessarily be about the bumper and the drinks and all that. And it's still soca music. It's still music that could play all year. So for me, yeah, definitely that is what I want to do. I would love to be able to release at least 1 or 2 more tracks for the year, hoping and praying that I could get it done. So for sure, I'm a no seasons girl. I want people to think, like I said, this is a woman that can move a crowd, that's deliver quality content. She's a good performer, excellent performer. That's what I want people to think when they call my name. I want people to get fussy and excited. Like, oh, just get fussy and excited when they call Machelle, when they call Lil Rick, when they call Bungie. That's what I want for Rhea Layne in 5 years. In a year, if I could get it do. But for sure in 5 years, that's where I would love to be. Shout out to the fans. Shout out to the DJs Shout out to everybody who has been supporting me this year, especially, and for those who have been there from day one. Endless love to everybody. Honestly, this year has been great so far, and I could only hope and pray that it will be continually great from here on in. And I'm really humbled and really, 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 really blessed to have all of you supporting me, and I love you. So thank you. Shout out to y'all.
Yo, believe me when I tell you that tune is vibes. She is vibes. Rhea Layne, definitely want to keep watching. And of course, remember to keep it locked right here. Studio Sessions, as we continue to bring you the hottest artist on the scene. I'm your host, Scott LaRock. See you next time. Peace.